my fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 17 of The Best Plus Life. I'm your best host, Kristen, and today's topic is the nutritional consciousness or quality control. You decide. Before we get started, I want to thank you all for watching, continuing to watch. Comment, share, like, subscribe, ring the bell, pass them along to people you know they can help. I know there's some pretty decent information in a few of the other videos. I go over some stretches and exercises, so those are always good positive things to pass along. And last but definitely not least, I want to thank my two kids for being so supportive of my channel and posting and sharing my pictures. And Jordan's just an overall tech savvy dude and has been helping me with all of that. And Peyton has been my emotional support rock and has now been promoted to social media director. So you're going to see some really awesome stuff coming. And they just have been so great. So thank you guys. I'm blowing you kisses. And finally, I'm wearing my Denver stuff because we had to take Jordan to the airport today. He went back to school to finish out his senior year. Woohoo! So graduation in June and a play that he has to put on to graduate in May. So I'm very excited to see all that. I do want to mention that we do have the two challenges going on right now. I'm calling my little workout savings account Moolah for Maui, and but you can call yours whatever you want. And don't forget the 21 days of gratefulness. I want you guys to start maybe thinking about 365 days of gratefulness. It's just 3 things every day you're grateful for, even if you have to pull them out of your booty. But it's just to make sure that you start yourself off on a positive note every day and realizing that you do have special things in your life that mean a lot. So just remember those things, even if your day is going really bad. So on that note, we talk about nutrition. And what I want to talk about nutrition and what I want to pass along to all of you is to take some stress off the new year and all those New Year's resolutions that everyone is making. In that I don't want the New Year's resolution to have the negative connotation it's been having the last, decade or so, I'd say at least, where everybody's like, oh yeah, okay, New Year's resolution, yeah, right. Even myself, I have to say, as a personal trainer, percentage-wise was not good if I had people doing it because it's the new year and I'm supposed to do something. First of all, you're supposed to do something that matters to you specifically and that you can take baby steps to achieve. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. I've said that before, and it is a mental game. So it's all about taking visuals and using visuals to help you on this nutritional journey we're going to take together. I think the first thing we need to realize in this journey is that resolution is not a bad word, but there are a couple of bad words I'd like stricken from the record when it pertains to food specifically. One is diet, which that's all it can pertain to, but lifestyle. I don't like that word when it's talking about how you're eating. You're eating. I want eating to be just eating again. I want everybody to realize that if we shift our focus back to the foods that we, for me, ate as a kid, but just focused on taking the quality of our food to the next level. Even if we're starting in the basement, if we can just tweak how we eat a little bit every day, we can make the overall journey seem shorter and more achievable because you'll be hitting you'll be hitting your goals daily as opposed to yearly or what have you. That's why the resolution thing bothers me so much, because you can hit your goals. You just have to pace yourself, and it will come more naturally. But the word my kids came up with, and I think applies today, is quality for our positive word of the day. The degree of excellence of something. So we want to improve the quality of our food. And that can come in many forms. It doesn't just mean taking your regular lettuce and then buying organic lettuce that was hand raised by monks and delivered by donkey, something, I don't know. It just means that whatever level of food you're at now, either drop something bad off of it, like junk food per se, or add something good to it. Okay? So that's where we're starting in our whole process. We want to make this whole thing seem easier. So first things first, before saying, I'm quitting this, I'm not doing that anymore, I don't think that'll work, I think we need to think about maybe that one food that's kind of a junk food that every once in a while we have, that we can just drop off the list altogether. We wouldn't ever miss it if it disappeared. You don't buy it on a regular basis. You only miss it when it's gone, kind of thing. So those kinds of candies and fruits, candies and foods, I meant to say, with sugar in them, that you don't really need to consider anymore. Or if you do start on a base level, I'm going to use frozen pizza as an example probably throughout this whole video, but you can take frozen pizza up a notch by adding, towards the end of the cooking process, some fresher vegetables, or you can add a salad alongside to add nutritional value to the whole meal itself. So there's so many different ways you can change the quality of the way that you eat, what you eat, how you eat, when you eat. I want to talk about when you eat. I want everybody to, I know this is going to sound crazy, eat when you're hungry. We've gotten to this concept of eating every 1.5 to 2 hours to boost our metabolism, and I get it, it does work. But we also have to realize our body needs to realize it has a metabolism. And in order to do that, it has to process foods it knows are in there. And if it's not hungry, I don't really feel like food is going to wake it up. I feel like it works in reverse. And that's why our processing systems are slowed down. We have bowel issues. We have probiotic issues. We have prebiotic issues. I think if we just ate the next level up of quality food and slowed down how quickly we ate it, I just think we can just make this so much simpler. So in that respect, I got off topic already, but I wanted to start off with eliminating foods that have ingredients on the label we cannot pronounce. Okay? So if we take that one off the table, you're taking out a good portion of middle aisles in your grocery store. I'm not saying all of them, because there are some with good pantry items, good canned goods. There are some good canned goods out there. Canned tomatoes are a good example of that. Frozen foods, there's some good frozen vegetables and things like that they freeze right at the height of freshness. So some fruits and vegetables are better frozen than they are from fresh sometimes, because you don't know how long it's been sitting on a truck or even just on the vine too long. So that is one way to eliminate something from your diet with, and I said the word diet because you wouldn't miss it if it was gone, because it's a preservative you can't pronounce. So poof. If it were that easy, right? The second thing I want us to think about is how colorful we're making our plates and our portion control size. So this is our typical dinner plate. And this is kind of what we as a family eat off of. And I'm just using this for size because our smaller plates are way too small. Plus I could write on the paper plate. The reason I wrote on here, and it's the way we should be divvying up our meal, and I feel like for dinner especially that we should this should all be vegetables. It's okay to have this whole portion of your plate be vegetables, and maybe just a sprinkling of tomatoes, that's a fruit, or something that passes as a vegetable in your salad, or sometimes even people put sections of grapefruit in their salads or things of that nature. I guess that would constitute a fruit and vegetable type medley. But I want to focus on making sure, that we kind of look at divvying up our plate a little bit more this way and eliminating the sizes by, look at the difference. And then thinking of this as a one-time only, a one-time only plate. All plates should be one-time only plates. But you should look at them and see lots of colorful foods. The plate can be colorful, but I want the foods to be colorful. That represents a lot of different nutrients in your foods without really thinking about it. So the more you see colors represented on the plate, the more we know we have nutrients represented in your body. And then the other thing is to slow down. I am the worst one for this. Actually, I think my son and I might be tied. He might beat me out because he likes to put several bites in his mouth at the same time, and I can't do that. But I do eat quite quickly, and am trying to break myself of the habit. But how we eat, when we eat, what we eat, those are all quality control issues. So if we were determined to proceed with the first baby step, I think it's shrinking your plate. That's an easy one. Without divvying it up at all, your first step, if you choose to accept it, is just to grab the smaller plates from your cabinet or get some nice smaller plates. That's going to help a ton. And you're going to notice that it's not so hard to eliminate some of those chemically riddled foods in your diet, because you can replace them with a bit healthier. So that's what I mean by quality. I go back to the frozen pizza again and adding fresh vegetables at the end. Even though there's frozen vegetables on there when you start with, even if you got a cheese one, and since it's the least expensive of the pizzas usually, and then added fresh produce from the produce section, which is cheaper, you'd probably get 2 meals out of that, because then you could then turn around and have whatever leftover pizza, and then probably a salad with whatever leftover vegetables. I say you can up the quality of your desserts by considering fruit a dessert. Even if you dipped it in chocolate, it's probably healthier than having a candy bar. Absolutely. Plus, you're getting the nutrients from the fruit, especially if you use fresh fruit. And if you use dark chocolate, which is the best chocolate for you, and in my opinion, the tastiest, you're also getting antioxidants and nutrients in your chocolate as well. So, added bonus. But that's what I'm saying by quality. Quality control doesn't have to be something you physically have to measure. And I know I talked about measuring with this plate, but this is just to kind of give you guidelines without making you think too hard about it. This is like, if you really want to go about it, a fistful of protein, a kind of a fistful of grains, and a handful of fruits and vegetables, And up here somewhere in the corner, I think I've written dairy. Yeah. So some form of milk product to drink, or maybe you can add a hard cheese to your salad, like a nice Parmesan. Those are always better for you than some of the softer cheeses that have more fat in them. Excuse me. So envisioning your plate like that, if you need to, buy the plate with the sections. Hopefully you can get one with 3 sections where the one side is just one whole, and that would be your vegetable side, of course. And then just thinking about taking it healthier. So skip the preservative riddled cookies, cake, pies, and all that stuff. And at least buy your cookies, cakes, and pies from the bakery section of your grocery store. Because if you look at the ingredients on there, at least you can pronounce them. And most of the time there's nothing in there that would preserve them, because they're meant to be eaten fresh. So a lot of times you can buy the day-old ones for a lot cheaper, but that's not their point. Their point is they want it sold at the height of freshness, because that's when it'll taste its best. So that's what preservatives have done for us all these years. And who knows what they have done to our system. There are chemicals we don't know how to pronounce that are doing things in our bodies. Maybe they're causing our IBS or our fibromyalgia or our thyroid problems. We don't know what those chemicals are. We don't know what the chemicals are in some of our I don't know what's in my Lyrica, but I take it because it's working. So I'm not saying the chemicals in the food are working. I think we need to eliminate those, take those things out. And at least if we have to have those sugary or fat-riddled foods, to buy them in the bakery or make them yourself. I got on a kick like that for a while, where we weren't buying any candy or anything like that. I was just making baked goods, and they just had to eat whatever baked good it was, as long as it lasted. And I wouldn't bake them all the time because it got quite intense, so people weren't eating as much sugar. But that got to be a lot. So I found the next best thing was, like I said, an actual bakery or your bakery section. And that is on the outer edges of your grocery store. Think about it, you can get your breads over there, you can get cakes, pies, rolls, tortillas typically, fresh pizza dough sometimes is over in that section. And then you have your dairy section. So your yogurts are great. I can't believe I forgot about that for dairy. Yogurt is a great dairy product, especially Greek yogurt has a lot of protein, and it's a good one to add to your food if you're going vegan. Vegetarian. Oh, I'm so sorry. I get those two confused, to be honest. But they also have now non-dairy yogurts as well. So check those out. And you can add fruits to those. You can turn the plain Greek yogurt into any kind of use that you use for sour cream or cream cheese. I have drained Greek yogurt and made it kind of comes into a cream cheese. Before I've done that, I've frozen Greek yogurt into like cube sizes, so you can use them for smoothies. That's a great way to add protein to your breakfast without adding a meat, especially if you're trying to eliminate meat out of your diet. I feel like I could go pescatarian very easily, and am probably slowly doing that without really realizing it. But so I just want you guys to think, finally, that the best quality of food is the food you eat when you are happy and you want to eat. So we're talking about eating when you're hungry and eating slowly, processing it in your mouth, because that's where all your taste buds are, allowing it to last there for a little bit, your tongue to actually taste it, to actually go down your throat, and your body to actually acknowledge that all those nutrients exist, is key for your body to process them correctly. And there's good foods you can eat that will eliminate your inflammation or at least reduce your inflammation, will help with, heart. It will help with your thyroid, will help with all different kinds of diseases and illnesses that we're all carrying around with us now. So those are things to think about when you're talking about your food. Eating when you're depressed is always harder for your body to process the food than when you eat when you're happy. Excuse me. Excuse me, I got a little choked. And a lot of times the way we eat when we're stressed or when we're happy typically affects the way we eat when we're not those things. So getting on the right path in the new year, I think, is going to be key for us, and slowing down and taking those baby steps. And like I said, I'm still, oh goodness. Sorry about that. I'm still working on slowing things down myself and really appreciating the food that I'm eating and acknowledging its existence, and that I am trying to make healthier choices going forward, be it just slowing down, just taking your plate to this next level one time, to just taking or making your own versions of things, or adding to versions that aren't healthy by adding a healthy item, or last but not least, adding a walk after you eat something bad. I mean, at least you're adding a good habit with a bad one. But eliminating the bad things is always the best way to go, and adding a positive behavior is always key. So that being said, I'm going to start wrapping it up. The thing I want you to remember most about this video is that if you're going to rush it, it will almost take you longer, because you're going to have to keep reprocessing a lot of things, and it's not really helpful in your journey. The smaller steps and making little achievements every day is going to be vital to your positive nutritional journey. So in the new year, I have taken to admiring women in my life, and I have two cousins that I want to mention here today that have inspired me to keep going on this channel, not with anything they've said to me, but the way that they handle themselves. And the first cousin I want to mention is Mariah, and she so inspires me because she's a teacher, and Lord knows that is not an easy thing to be these days. So shout out to all the teachers out there for doing amazing things. And but the reason I mentioned her is she has a beautiful Etsy page, and it's Fuzzy Slipper Designs. Excuse me. And she has beautiful cards, and she has banners. I've seen her make beautiful banners, and I've also seen her home decor, and she has beautiful seasonal stuff. She made some amazing wreaths I've seen. She just has some great stuff. So check out her page. And then my other cousin is Kirsten W. Larson, and she has written a beautiful picture book called Wood Wire Wings, and it's a non-fiction picture book about a real-life woman engineer, and I want to say her name because I get the two mixed up, Emma Lillian Todd, and her designing of the airplane, and excuse me, I'm still having issues, and how she problem solved, and it's just a beautiful book. I can't even describe it to you in a few words, because the pictures are just so amazing too. So please check out that book. She has a new book coming out soon. I don't know any details about that yet. Hopefully I'll be able to pass the information along. I know she's working really hard on it. So check out her book, Wood Wire Wings, and check out my cousin's Etsy page. And I think that'll wrap it up for today. Thank you for watching, and you guys inspire me every day, and I hope I'm inspiring at least one person out there to change just one thing about their day to make it a better day. So have a good day. Go out and do great things. Be your best self, and please live your best blessed life. Thanks for watching. Bye.